Hello, this is Epic Turtle Monster, Epic Turtle Mun, Turtlemancer, XXCF Master 420XX, many names. And in the last op day, in the first op, my fire team did some really good maneuvering, just kind of as a whole. And I thought that it could be useful to go over just some of the concepts that we have learned about, but that not everybody might have been to the classes for. So just to start right off with, we are clearing a town, moving up on an objective, but our fire team leads have run into a problem. So there is a street directly to my back, as you might see, and maybe 20 meters ahead of us are the leaders, and so this happens. Above you, Odin. 1-8. Yeah, so you can see. You got people facing up the street. You got plenty of guns facing forward.
Well, if you're covering this angle, Turtle, I'll go cover another.
Go. I got it.
Take my place.
And there you go. So that's the first one. First two, I suppose. You want eyes on the threat, but if you're stopped, you want eyes everywhere. If other people are already looking at the objective and you're not actively shooting at something, get eyes somewhere else, because there's every possibility that an enemy could have walked up right here and completely flanked us. Those guys that were off to my left were the fire team leads, so there's every possibility that one of them could have gotten domed before anyone had a chance to react. So make sure you're facing different directions. And the second part, communicate with each other. If you're behind somebody, ask them to crouch down so you can get over them. You can have two lines of fire. As you'll see up ahead, communicating during CQC, close quarters combat, is absolutely vital, but we'll save that for the moment. But in this instance, just talking to each other, making sure that the guy that I was behind knew that I was behind him, let him step off to go and find a new position somewhere else. Cannot overstate, just talk to each other, say it. Worst case scenario is people will just kind of go, yeah, cool, whatever, like it. There's no downside to it. I'm gesturing a lot. Maybe I should turn on my face cam. For the moment, we'll leave it. Turn it up a little bit. Wasn't sure if I said that, but again, I call covering east. Just to let everybody know, hey, this alley down here to the east is being watched. There's no need to worry about it. And also it incentivizes the people around you to go, oh, maybe I should go look in some direction. Speed it up. And you hear from our fire team lead, Viking, that we're stepping off. I'd say stepping off again. Just so that, again, everyone knows that I'm moving. Watching the street, like I'm trying to watch somewhere else, and I see people running across. I hear go, go. And so I move up. But as you can see on the shack tack, my fire team, I'm gesturing with my finger, my fire team isn't moving with me. You can see they're all still off to my right. So I pause. I look up the street. Again, this is the same thing, keeping eyes out in various directions. You don't have to sprint across. And since I wasn't under direct threat, stopping to make sure that there wasn't a direct threat as my fire team starts to cross behind me is the best move. And then I go last man me, and that's another concept that I want to talk about. Basically, it is the idea that one man posts up in a place, and watches that direction, and the last person to pass behind him goes last man. Strictly speaking, it's supposed to be used basically constantly in a formation when you're going through a city at every corner. Every major corner that an enemy could potentially be around, the front man is supposed to stop and look down that direction, and then be last man as they go through. We are playing a video game, so it's much more kind of loosey-goosey there, but that is something that can absolutely save a life. If a technical had come around that corner, what happens a lot of the time is that technical will burst around the corner and decimate everyone in the area. Having somebody who is pre-posted looking in that direction with a gun up ready to fire, you could have the driver and or the gunner out before it's able to fully get around the corner, much less before it's able to open up on your fire team. And As you see, I see that he's stopped, so I let him know, and I rejoin my fire team. That was a very nice last man maneuver, by the way. A little bit of patting on the back.
Have you ever done a pickup total? Like, I mean, not like a proper pickup, I mean, like on the roads. There's like a maneuver.
No.
Oh, those are fucking brilliant, mate. We should really use them.
We're just chatting, and a little earlier, you heard Tim say that there's an entrance on the west, and
got an entrance on the west side.
I noticed that Viking hasn't moved us, and Viking, so I relay. Make sure people know. You know, there's moments for it, but if you think that your fire team lead might be missing something, it's possible that they're getting helmet fire. It's possible that they're, they just forgot about it. They just missed it. So gently, of course, you do not want to be taking over for the fire team lead. If you can tell they're getting annoyed with you, like if you're not fire team leading, respect the people who who are fire team leading. If you want to do it, take the role. That being said, there's a fine line between taking the role over and offering helpful advice. So always try to, if you think that you're being helpful, if you believe that you're being helpful and you're not just trying to be too pushy, always say something. And worst case is your fire team lead will say, yeah, like, I got it. That's plenty. Thank you. And if they say that, stop. Yeah, definitely a little bit of wiggle room there. So we're moving up. I took point, and as you can see, this area is unsecure. We don't know what's going on. So I'm watching my side, but I say I'm going to move past. I'm watching north. Once again, last manning. I'm watching our flank. I hear that we have a last man, and so I push in beside. So this is more the CQC fighty portion.
On the left, I'm on you, Steppy, above you.
So you can see he's holding the corner. He's crouching. I'm above him. And we're watching in the same direction. He said, oh, fuck.
Make sure you keep an eye on that left door, mate. Gotcha. Are we pushing in?
No. So you can see I'm doing something. I'm talking to Viking. I'm trying to figure out what we're doing next, but Steppy says, watch that room on the left. I adjust, go down to look at the left. It's communication again. Make sure that you're communicating, but make sure you're receiving others' communication as well. That's pretty important.
Let me know when I'm good to move.
We have our AR gunner suppressing down the hallway, so I go, hey, let me know when we're good to move. And I start to move up after Empty tells me I see no more movement. It's communication again. I'm finding myself repeating myself a lot, but make sure that you're listening for what other people are telling you. Make sure it's a dialogue back and forth. Empty, let me know when I'm clear to move up. Empty hears me. I think he might have acknowledged. You should generally try to acknowledge. And then, he tells me that I'm clear to move, so I announce that I'm moving up. I let everybody around me know. Back and forth, and repeat yourself. Make sure that everybody is perfectly clear on what's going on, because friendly fire isn't. If there's a miscommunication, they'll put on your gravestone you had the right of way, but you're still fucking dead. Like that's what I always try to go with. So I move up, let everyone know, make sure I'm not gonna get hit. There's nothing on my right. That's a solid wall on my right, and I move in. You check left, and then you sweep around to the right. And that's a very simple, you hear me go left clear, right clear. That's basic room clearing. Move in, check one side, check the side that you think that it is most likely for enemies to be on, and then you can check whatever side that is. You can check right then left, you can check left then right, but you do both, and you should audibly say left clear, right clear. What I didn't do here, because it was a little bit more free flowing, it was a little bit more fast paced, but the strictly right procedure is to have a 2-man team. And I will generally, as a fire team lead, and most of the time as a rifleman or any kind of infantry element, I will insist that, or I will send, if I'm fire team lead, 2-man teams to clear. And how that should work is one person is crouching, other person is above. You give a countdown, and then you open the door if there is one, and then the first person pushes in and clears left, and the second person pushes in and clears right. That can be adjusted, but make sure that your partner knows which way you're going so that they can go the other way, because the only thing that's keeping you alive when you're room clearing is your partner behind you, making sure your blind side is clear. And your job, if you're pushing into the left, is to make sure the left is clear, because that is your partner's blind side. You're pushing in and facing left, which is your partner is completely blind in that direction. They have no idea what's there, so you need to be facing that direction, making certain that that half of the room is clear. And you have to have faith that your partner behind you is doing the exact same on the right side. This is another instance where if you're not sure, if your partner's on the same page as you, stop the whole thing. Be like, all right, hey, I'm gonna count to 3. I'm gonna pop the door open. I'll go left. You go right. Cool. And make sure that they say, yeah, cool, gotcha, before you move in. This is room clearing is something that needs confidence on both sides. Everyone needs to know what they're doing, and everyone needs to do it. So that's that.
Left room is clear.
So I'm doing. I clear the room, push up, and slow walking, moving up. I communicate again. Hey, I'm clearing these next rooms, letting them know. I'm letting them know that there's a friendly, and I'm letting them know that there's rooms. I say, hey, I'm watching forward, so if anyone wants to go grab those ones, Steppy goes and clears it, and I'm watching his back. I trust that he's watching those rooms beside me. So I go ahead and I just keep watching forward. And then this is more of a standard room clear. And that's the problem. Or rather, not the problem, but that's the risk of room clearing. You sometimes just get blindsided, and in that instance you see I pull back, which I guess is the last thought that I have. Always make sure that you're staying alive. It's pretty fundamental, but sometimes people forget about it, myself included. Hell, there's a clip of me dying to grab someone's dog tags, someone who's already dead, and I'm following a little self-imposed rule that I like to follow through on. Always make sure if you're in threat and there's no one relying on you directly, make sure you're safe first. So for example, if you're explicitly covering somebody that's like medicing someone who's down in a dangerous area, you need to make sure that they get to safety before you get yourself to safety. But in that instance where you see your friend has gone down, and there's nothing that you can do to help them, or your life is directly in danger, you got to get yourself to safety first. Otherwise, you're vastly more likely to just have 2 casualties. Get yourself to safety, then I push up, and then, as you see here, I watch him go down, I make sure he's good, and then
check Steppy.
Then I go for Steppy, once there are friendlies who are up and around
Steppy,
me.
pull through for me. Fuck!
And he didn't make it. So yeah, that was just a bunch of things that I was really, really pleased with that op. I was really pleased with how we handled things, and I wanted to give that a little run over. I hope this is useful, and if not, then fuck it. Let me procrastinate on my homework for another few minutes. Have a good day.